12 in 2012 is 12 events in the year 2012, celebrating 20 years of the music of PFR. Even though we haven't made music for 20 years, it was 20 years ago that we embarked on our first album. In February of 1992, we went down to Ardent Studios in Memphis, Tennessee, to record the first record called Pray for Rain. And had lots of high hopes, and we were really green and didn't know what we were doing. And Jimmy Lee Sloas and Bobby Blazer took us under their wing and helped us make a fantastic first record. And so 2 decades later, we're really old, and we want to celebrate that. We're still alive. Why do we want to share our story with other people after 20 years? It's not necessarily an easy question to answer. I say phrases like, it's hard to let a good thing die. I remember Jimmy Sloas, our producer, when we did a greatest hits record in 1997, after we had broken up, got together to do this record. After that week in the studio, he said, I've been around bands that broke up. You guys didn't break up. You stopped playing music together. And I think there's something about that we'd all say it's kind of true, even though we live in different parts of the country, really are involved in different things for a career and with our families. This is something that still is DNA for us. It's just part of who we are. And it's so easy to get together and pick it back up again. And I think, so there's a story even in that there's something that has remained in this thing for all of us. And it's not just glory days. Let's be honest, there's part of that. That was a great time in our life. We were in our 20s, making music, traveling around the world. That's a dream, it's a gift, it's wonderful. But you know, we're older and fatter now, and we still love doing this. And so I hope that part of our story is something that everyone's going to relate to, that over 20 years, you have some phenomenal things happen that you just never dreamed would be possible. And you also go through some things that you never thought would be a part of your life, and they're really difficult and maybe even tragic. But for me, and I think for all of us, going through some of those most difficult things, I've put it this way to some people: digging in the dirt is where all the treasure's found. And it's the hardest work that you do. But you come up hopeful, and you come up grateful, and it makes you want to stay in it. And so if us going out and doing 12 events this year to talk about our story, and that at this point in it, even though there's been some really difficult things, that we're still grateful and we're still hopeful, then maybe some other people will believe that that's possible. I want people to come to this show because I want them to have a renewed sense that God is not done with us yet, that the story's not over. Wherever you're at in that story, and you might be in a great place, and you might not. This is not the end, this is right now. And God is aware of it, God is active, and I want that to be the story that we live in, not just the now that seems like I'm hanging on to it because the other shoe's gonna drop, or when am I gonna catch a break? We all have been in those places. I wanna talk about the story that's ongoing, that God is in pursuit of us, and that all will one day be well.